Greetings, YouTube. I went and saw Iron Man 2 yesterday at a matinee. That was a warm-up to this. My wife and I watched the original Iron Man Friday night. Straight up, no commentary. The copy I have was one of the first releases. I picked it up cheap at Blockbuster, I think. And we both loved Iron Man. I consider it to be the absolutely finest comic book movie ever done for a Marvel comic, and one of the best comic book movies ever done. I'm placing it after Batman and Dark Knight, Batman Returns and Dark Knight, but it would probably be number 3 overall. It's just an incredibly wonderful piece of cinema and fun from beginning to end. It's engaging, it's interesting. There's a couple of spots where it slows down a little, where it's a little weak, but overall, it's just a great time. It has a wonderful story of redemption, which is one of the things that I love so much. So it really kind of appeals to me, and you really get to see the character of Tony Stark going from this self-absorbed narcissist until becoming an actual hero at the end of the film. Not hiding, being honest, being open. It was just so much fun. And then we saw Iron Man 2, and it was a lot like reading a comic book. I felt no connection to any of the characters in this movie. I knew that none of the main characters were going to die. I knew that they were at no risk. I saw no personal development of any kind. The action was just fine. The robots and the armor still looks incredibly cool. It was visually entertaining, but there was no development. It was flat. It lacked heart. At one point, you're revealed that Tony Stark's life is in danger from his technology, and I never felt it. I never had a connection to Tony Stark's pathos. Nothing. The only actors that really seemed to bring their A game to my mind was Sam Rockwell as Hammer, the quote-unquote competition for Tony Stark, a man who desperately wants to be Tony Stark and never, ever will, and on some level knows this. Knows that no matter how rich he is, how much his technical devices marvel the world, he will never be as bright, as sparkled, as charismatic as Tony Stark is on his worst day. And the other character was Happy Hogan, played by the director himself, Jon Favreau, who brought, again, his A game. He really engaged that character. I felt the connection to Happy. I cared about Happy. I loved Scarlett Johansson's character in film of the Black Widow, though I'm not sure we ever actually heard her code name. I don't remember. Sam Jackson, of course, he's always fun, but he's always just playing Sam Jackson. And Mickey Rourke was great, and again, he's just playing Mickey Rourke at this time. He really doesn't play characters anymore, he just plays himself. And he was supposed to be reserved, supposed to be this taciturn, hardened Russian, and he did an excellent job of that. As a friend of mine who saw it with me said, whenever someone would say something or ask a question, and he would just laugh at them and say nothing else, that worked, and it did. So yes, that I enjoyed. But the rest of the film, it was just there. I've been reading a number of reviews, and people have been giving this a solid B. So I thought, solid B, that's a good way to spend my afternoon. I didn't see it as a B. I give it a solid C. It's entertaining, but it doesn't improve the storyline. It doesn't advance these characters in any way, shape, or form. I just didn't care. And that's the really sad part. They had an opportunity to make a sequel that was just as cool as the original. And I feel that they completely and utterly failed. I'm hoping that it's a sophomore slump, and that number 3 will really, knock it out of the park. But I was disappointed in this film, and I'm hoping that they can save the franchise.